2013 meeting to order. Now let's go to stand. Recite with me the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Steve, would you call the roll, please?
Yes, sir. Benberry.
Here.
Crecilius.
Here.
Morrison.
Here.
Schramke.
Here.
Shadle.
Here.
Wade.
Here.
Chairman Manchester.
Here. Joe, you have the minutes motion.
I move that the reading of the minutes of December 2nd, 2013 be waived and that the minutes of said meeting as prepared by the Secretary be approved as written.
Second.
2 seconds. Any discussion? Any additions or corrections? Call the roll, please.
Benberry.
Aye.
Crecilius.
Aye.
Morrison.
Aye.
Schramke.
Aye.
Shadle.
Aye.
Wade.
Aye.
Chairman Manchester.
Aye. David, you have the J&L Boutique amendment to the development plan.
Yes, sir. I believe this is it. I move that a resolution entitled "A Resolution Constituting the Final Report of the Paducah Planning Commission on the Proposed Amendment to a Development Plan for Property Located at 2745 West Park Drive" be adopted.
Second.
Kevin vote. Wade? John, is that you? Okay. Discussion. I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Why are we looking at these things more and more? Are the signs getting bigger on the applications or what?
No, back in 1991, I think it was, the West Park Village development standards were established as part of this development. They're different than everywhere else in the city. Typically, retail signs in other parts of the city are allowed to be 1.5 square feet of lineal frontage up to 200 square feet. In this area, the retail village, the original developer at that time wanted a 10-foot sign, square foot sign, which is rather small, as the maximum. What we're seeing now is that along the retail section within this corridor, a lot of the business owners are wanting signage that's more consistent with signs that you see in other areas. Maybe not, well, not consistent with wall signage. And the only way for them to do that is to get an amendment to the original development plan. And there's really two ways to go about this. We could continue to take these applications as they come in and bring them to Planning Commission for consideration, or at some point in the future, if the Planning Commission wanted to, you could hold a public hearing and make a decision on whether you wanted to amend those regulations, or at least discuss whether you wanted to amend those regulations at all, so you don't have to keep hearing them.
Did the developer retain any control over the size in that in setting up that development plan?
It's in the development plan, the actual standards.
Okay, so the fact that we approve it, the developer, if he retained control, could come in and say you can't do that. Right?
Oh, you're talking about restrictive covenants beyond the development plan? I'm not sure about the restrictive covenants, Dan.
Okay.
Sorry.
I have a question concerning the photo that we have with the application.
Yeah.
I see that there are 3 signs already on the face of this building. Will those remain, or will the large sign that they're proposing for the top be the only sign for that?
I do not know the answer to that, Kathy.
Well, obviously,
Will they be
it's really going to be a lot if these 3 remain up there.
exactly?
Would they be compliant if all 3 would be on the building?
It looks like the others.
I would think they would, because the previous 2 have already been permitted in compliance with the zoning from the Fire Prevention Division.
You mean the previous 2 signs?
Yes.
There now?
Yes.
You only have 1 on a facade, is that correct?
There's already 3.
And I see 3, not 2, unless I'm looking at this wrong.
I think are both.
Was one a banner that was up there temporarily?
Like a banner.
I don't know. Are these advertising something they sell? Saba and Ace?
talking about the long one underneath the boutique.
That's what I'm talking about. Uh-huh.
That tells something about clothing.
These are brand
It's
name.
either a banner or something.
Oh, this one. I can't see that.
It does look like brands.
I believe that would be in addition, Chairman, but I certainly can find that information out and bring it back to you if you would like that.
Avon.
And my question is, this goes into detail of what this sign is made of. Do we have any sort of, authority to say what a sign would be made of or not be made of? I mean, I see that this has a 1-year warranty, chipping or peeling or whatever, and it's something that I'm not familiar with.
Typically, the design requirements are not under the purview of the Planning Commission. It's the size and the amount. And because it's an amendment to a development plan, and what that development plan said was actually the size.
Rain, that material is Luca Bond, comes out of Benton.
It's what, I'm sorry?
Comes out of Benton, Kentucky. It's
Plastic and aluminum.
plastic and aluminum. It's very stout.
I see.
It's very durable.
It's a vinyl.
That was my question.
It can actually look like wood also.
Yeah.
Steve, with the current requirements of 10 square feet, would they already be out of compliance with these 3 signs that appear in this picture?
Well, I think the sign
Because those appear to be much larger than 10 square feet.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm of the mind not to, in the granting of this 36 square foot waiver, not create the appearance that we're grandfathering in or waiving what's out of compliance now.
That was my feeling exactly.
Which, while we're talking about it, is a really good reason to not have a blanket type.
typically the picture that you see there is the sign company actually putting the sign on the building. The sign's not there yet. The question of whether the other 2 signs are proposed to come down, I cannot answer that question, but I would certainly find out for you all.
Did we table the motion?
It's one of them.
I'm sorry?
Did we table the?
Absolutely.
And again, back to Kathy's question, is it 2 signs or 3?
I think it's 3.
That's 3. I think the top one's a banner.
No,
The
right
other two
underneath
look
the
like
banner.
product.
Yeah.
Right underneath the banner, there
Motion or
I
seems to
think all
be
3 of them are product.
another sign.
Yeah.
Well, he's saying that this might be a banner. This
Oh,
one
I
that's
see.
right here might be a banner. This has
One
actually just
underneath
been
on the top one, the
kind of
proposed one. This is-
photoshopped on there, so we can see what it would look
It
like.
doesn't look like it's laying even. That top.
But is there a requirement for banners on how long they're allowed? Or is that a permanent?
Temporary structures or banners are permitted in zones. They can be up no longer than 30 days, but they can be put back up again, and you're allowed 1 per tenant in the city of Paducah. So as you're driving down US 16, you see a banner out front that promotes new management, sale Friday, those types of things. Those are permitted.
Is it the same person that owns the facility wants to do the new sign that has the other signs, or is it different?
I'm sorry, once again?
The one that wants to do this sign,
Yes,
same person that has the other 2 signs as well?
I'll find all that out.
Signs
Yeah.
and read closely.
Yeah.
It says
it's
J&L
got it on there.
Boutique on the top of each of those little signs, so I'm guessing that it
it
is.
does.
That's why I say those are products. I think they're promoting that they sell Ace and Saba
Maybe so.
products. So.
That does.
Got a picture of it. One of them.
Well, this is a question that I have a big question about because we don't know the answer.
And there's no one here.
If their request is for this sign alone, I don't have a problem with it. But if these others remain, I do have a problem. And Kathy indicated that perhaps we could find the answer to this before the next meeting. And you move to continue this until
I do.
the next regular meeting, which is January the 5th, 6th, or a time certain to be automatically on the agenda at that time.
Would it be possible for a motion to approve the blue sign only and no other signs would be allowed on the building. And if they are wanting the additional signs, then at that point, they would be required to come back to the planning commission. That's up to you, of course.
I'm
You wanna
happy with
amend the
that.
motion, or
I'm
you
happy
wanna
with that, too.
postpone it?
One last question, though, before, is this a lit sign?
I don't think so.
With the
No.
Photoshop that they did, it almost looks like
Yeah,
it's
I
lit.
think they
but-
just
Well, a Luca bond
correctly.
is not lit.
Well, you can cut out and, I just want to confirm that. It's not, this is just a flat.
How about I get more information and also have the applicant?
Well, and I think it
next
would have
meeting.
been beneficial if they would be here,
Right.
which we've kind of said in the past that
We always try to.
moves things along quicker if we have somebody we can talk to.
So would it be best to postpone until the next meeting? Is
That'd
that
be
your
fine.
Is
preference?
that a motion?
Yes,
Motion
sir.
to table.
Second.
Second. Thank you. Motion made and seconded to postpone this to a date certain.
Who was second, Dan?
All right.
Lorraine?
Shrimpke and all right, the motion we're voting on is to postpone or continue, until January the 6th meeting. Call the roll, please.
Before we do that, let's say January 6th or our next meeting. You know, there may not be enough
Yes, there isn't
business at
another
6, so
That's fine.
you might want to go to the 20th.
All right. Lorraine, you understand that?
I do understand that, but if we are postponing this till our next meeting, that is the business of the next meeting.
But if it's only one,
It's the only,
Oh,
if it's the
sometime
only
we don't-
item.
I see. Okay.
one item.
When is Martin Luther King Day? Do you know?
11th or 13th, I believe.
Okay. I was-
There's that, they don't have like a rush or anything they need to get this done before then? Are they trying to do something in a time frame or anything?
It's up there now.
Yeah, property owners are always wanting to move forward, but
Okay, the motion made to table, actually, until January the 6th or the next regular meeting, whether regular or called meeting. Is that what I understand the motion to
I
be?
think that sounds good.
All right. Call a roll.
Grisilius,
Aye.
Morrison,
Aye.
Schramke,
Aye.
Shadle,
Aye.
Wade,
Aye.
Benberry, Chairman Manchester.
Aye. Bob, you have item number 2, the Fuller.
Mr. Chairman, I move that this commission receive and file the application of John Fuller and Falconite Hip Enterprises for the proposed re-subdivision of property located at 3320 and 3324 Royal Turn Court. I further move that the requested approval be given in compliance with all other applicable provisions of the Paducah subdivision ordinance be waived.
Second.
Second by Grisilius. Discussion. Yes, sir.
Hello. My name's Todd McBee. I'm with Site Works. Generated this plat. The intent here, as noted on the instrument, is the driveway serving the house on lot 17 encroached across the original platted property line by about 6 inches, and that was discovered during a recent restaking of the property lines. And so this instrument is to modify the property line in between lot 16 and 17, modify it to correct the encroachment, and also to create a legal description for a tiny little sliver of land that could then be transferred. And so we are just rectifying a encroachment discovered in the field.
I had 2 questions. The property owner shown on here is John Priere.
That is incorrect,
Okay.
and is fixed on the original sign that I have in my possession.
Okay, good. And then we had the county had also signed or required to have a certificate for recording, but I'm assuming y'all took
That's
that.
exactly right. We have incorporated the comments that came out of the planning department in these originals that I have before me.
This is not the final one we have.
That's correct.
That is not, you're welcome. I have 2 here signed by the owner.
Add it to
I have
the, Mr. Key, please.
It's all right, I just,
the comments out of the planning department, the owners.
okay, yeah, good.
Rectify
and
Correct
that's
certificate.
down for the county. And
And
yeah,
also the
everything looks
side
good.
setback.
Good. Okay.
Those are the revisions since the documents that you all have in your packet.
Okay.
That okay, Mr. Any other questions or discussion?
Is there actually a structure sitting there on 16?
Yes, there is. That is the footprint of the house that you see drawn there.
Okay, but there's no ownership of the house other than
The developer.
The
That's
developer.
correct. The developer owns it.
okay, but the house is going to run that close to the property line on both sides?
That is correct. There are no side setbacks in the
Okay.
village. Ultimately, and I'm privy to this because I formerly worked at Civil Design when we platted this, ultimately, the density of these two houses together is governed by fire code.
Okay.
Separation of their eaves becomes the limiting factor, but there is no minimum building setback lines.
I assume this the front of this lot as well, so his drive is going to be over here somewhere.
That's the garage there.
Garage, so it's going to come in this way.
Exactly.
Which structure, 16 or 17?
16.
Which one was built first? This one? On 16?
No,
I just wonder
This
why
was
they,
built
I just
first,
wonder,
it was
I
already
just,
built and sold. This one's-
for my edification, I was thinking perhaps why they didn't move that one back, because they are, it's pretty tight.
I mean,
I know
the
there are
problem's
no
not the
side
house, it's not
sets.
the house, it was the driveway. And you can see just where it goes right there. It was,
Just,
just the wood figure.
yeah.
Right here. That's all. But it was an encroachment nonetheless, and it was discovered and fixed. So the structures themselves were not.
Okay, any other questions?
No.
Y'all have any questions about it? Call roll, please.
Wade,
Aye.
Benberry,
Aye.
Grisilius,
Aye.
Morrison,
Aye.
Schramke,
Aye.
Shadle,
Aye.
Chairman Manchester.
Aye.
Pardon?
Seconded that.
My parents had this issue in the 60s when they lived next
I don't know. Did I second that? I didn't think so.
They seconded it on Fort Surf, or on
Which one?
Kathy and
think I
David.
this is back
Oh, they, okay.
David.
Street in the 60s.
David.
Oh,
One David, it was, Shadle.
If I could say one thing, Chairman, I'd just like publicly to thank you, with this being the chairman's last meeting, for everyone on the board. Chairman Manchester's been a part of the Planning Commission since 1987. He was elected chairman in 1989 and has heard in excess of 1,800 applications come before the commission for development in the city. And personally, I've worked with him the entire time I've been here. He's been a great leader for this board, and I greatly appreciate your leadership, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Here, here. Here, here.
We all agree.
And since you all do have an item on the agenda for the first meeting in 2014 to elect a chairman, I know you all will be here. And I thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you adjourn us?
Not quite all.
Anyway, so I have